Okay everybody, so today we are going to seal or attempt to seal a leaking CV boot. The one that I had on it, I accidentally damaged it, and then I got one of these split deals where instead of taking the whole thing apart, you can, the CV boot is split down the middle, and then you wrap it around and then clamp it down. Well, you glue it with this special glue and then you clamp it down, and I didn't think that it was going to hold, and I actually checked, and lo and behold, it doesn't hold. So we're gonna go ahead and try to seal that together to get some more time out of it. So I'm hoping my plan works. So today we're going to basically, we're here with the Scion TC. It's this driver's side wheel. The tools we have today are the jack, the impact, headlamp, and if you don't have a headlamp for working with cars, I would suggest you get one. This is a Coast magnetic lamp, which is actually really awesome. It holds magnetically, so you can post it together, and the battery works really well, and it's quite powerful. So really useful for getting those hard to reach areas. Okay, so we're going to use some brake parts cleaner to get the grease off the leaky bit, and this tire glue, actually a tire rubber kind of instant, I think super glue type glue. Got it on Amazon for a few bucks. Hopefully that works. I tested it on a rubber band, definitely held it really well, so we'll give it a shot. Now what we're gonna do is turn the CV axle, if we can. So you can see that where that split is, you can see that it's definitely leaking quite a bit, it seems. So hopefully we can get that sealed up. There's a couple of little small holes there. And we'll see if we can get that sealed up so that it doesn't leak all the grease out. I made sure I have something to catch the grease, any grease splatters that might come off with this cardboard. Make sure you get the back side too. Now for the glue. You want to make sure you just get it over the entire seam. Don't try to just select out any parts that look cracked, just get it all. Let's see if we got it. Okay, I'm gonna leave this like this for probably about 30 minutes before I turn the wheel back, put the wheel back on and drop the car, just so that this has a chance to just fully at least set and not drive for about 6 or 8 hours. I don't know if that's necessary, but I just don't want to re-crack it, and hopefully it holds. So I'll check it in a few days and see if it holds, and if it did, then I'll make sure that I put that here at the end of the video. All right, it is now about a week later. As you can see, we have leaks. I actually put a lot more of that glue on, and if you can tell, actually you can see the cracks here. It just cracks, and it's no good. So we are going to have to seal it up. Now, I'm trying a different glue, and this is all over the internet. Shoe Goo. Just got it in today, and I am going to apply it liberally to this after we clean it with some brake parts cleaner, and hopefully it works. So let's get it started. Give it a little time to dry up. Let's get back there and see if there's any residue. Hard to see areas. Okay, I got my Shoe Goo here. Got the seal pierced. Give it a shot. I'm gonna apply it liberally because I don't want to do this again. You should do this when you don't have to drive your car for ideally 24 hours, because that's the curing time they claim on the package. Probably I'm not going to be able to manage 24 hours, but might be able to do a good 8, 16, somewhere around there. Hopefully that does the job. Sorry, I let the camera go there. Got my nitrile gloves on too, so I can get in there with my finger and sort of massage it in to these hard to reach areas. Okay, well, we'll leave it like that. I might touch this up a little bit more. Might add a little bit where I think it might be needed. But otherwise, I'm just gonna let it be. I'm gonna have to turn the wheel to get it back on. Yeah, and so I'll check it in a couple days and see how it's holding up. All right, until then, see ya. Okay, it's just a couple weeks later. Time flies when you're on the internet. We're still leaking, and you can see that right there is a tiny little grease spot. I cleaned it up and then I drove it for 10 feet, and I can see that little grease spot forming. So that is where the leak is coming from. There might be some more spots here. You can see the Shoe Goo really did not hold up well. I cleaned it up a lot with a lot more brake clean. And you know, my neighbor said, "Hey, I see you out here working on your car. What's happening?" And I told him about the CV boot problem, and he went and he in his garage, and he says this. He got it from the dollar store. He says this is the stuff you want to use. It's flexible. It tolerates high heat, silicone based, and I believe him. I think this stuff might work well. Actually, my other neighbor was with him, and he went in his garage and he got this stuff, and he swears by it. He says, yeah, I used it on my boat, I used it on my transmission even, and it worked, and we're gonna give it a shot. You can tell here, let's see if I can grab a little piece. It's not as tough as the Shoe Goo, but it does have a lot of elasticity. Very elastic. So I think because it's so elastic, I might be able to get it in to those crevices and not have them crack open again, because it's just not good. All right, I'm gonna get it on here in a second. All right, I got a better angle here for you. So there we go. Let's get some more light in here. Just gonna put a bead of this stuff in here. The more the merrier. Inject it into these cracks. Yep, there we go. There's no leakage here or here. There is a spot here. Oh, definitely can smell that acid smell of silicone for sure. Definitely want to be wearing gloves when you do this, because this stuff is pretty sticky. Just get it over the clamp, why not? So this stuff says that it dries in 2 hours and fully cures in 24 hours. I'm gonna be driving this thing in the morning, so it's gonna have about 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours. It could just do the trick. This might be the stuff you want to put on in the first place after you put the temporary boot on, or after you put the split boot on. After the glue that it comes with dries up, put a little coating of this stuff right on the outside to prevent any leaks. All right, that ought to do it. Okay, this is the axle. It's off now, and as you can see, it's nice and greasy, and that silicone just didn't hold really at all. It's just sort of in there. And if you listen, you can actually hear the air going in and out. So that just didn't work at all. All right, folks, so I'm here editing this video right now, and I didn't have an end, so I wanted to just put this conclusion in here. The split boot for your CV axle is a temporary solution. It is not a permanent solution. What ended up happening was I put the CV boot on at the right time. I did catch it before the grease came out. I did actually pack more grease into it when I did the installation initially. And it would have been actually fine. If I had taken it to a mechanic in the first place, I may have been able to just get a new boot on there. Unfortunately, because so much grease had actually leaked out as I was messing around with that monstrosity that you saw towards the end, the CV axle actually started getting damaged, and it was irreparable at that point. So unfortunately, it had to be replaced, which was very expensive. I had to do it at the shop because the front drive axles are very notoriously hard to get off with just regular tools. You really should have the Toyota tools to get those things off so you don't damage your transmission, and also it's just not a total nightmare. We got it replaced, and yeah, that was that. So, moral of the story is, split boots are a temporary solution at best. Put one on just long enough to be able to get it to a shop so that it can be properly repaired, or so that you can figure out how to get a regular non-split boot on. There's no adhesive in the world that's strong enough to keep that split boot together. And that is obviously my opinion, but as you have seen, the evidence bears out, as we tried everything to keep that thing on and it just would not stay. All right. Well, if you like this video, please like it. And if you want to see more like this, please subscribe so that I can keep making my auto videos. I got a Toyota Corolla 07, so we're going to be doing some maintenance on that, and I'll happily record that and post that up on here if you want it. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that I could have done to possibly have saved this CV boot, and I will see you again next time.